Stop working on the car for you guys, but now that my phone is a little charged, we can go ahead and to be continue this job. Okay. Now, as I said before, we were working on this 5 Series. It's a 535 M54 engine. Now, with this vehicle here, we are doing the starter. So, you know, we have to go ahead and complete that starter replacement. Now, the starter is located in the center of the engine. So it's right here down in the middle of the engine. Okay. Let me, and we're going to continue to remove the starter. Okay. Now, I got the first bolt off. Now, I'm just getting the second bolt off. All right. It is aimed towards the back of the engine. I'm going to go ahead and loosen that up. All right, bro. See you tomorrow, man. All right, now, the bolt in the back of the starter here is a little bit more difficult to get to. So what I usually do is I use a tool that has a swivel at the end. So this way it'll make the bend. And what you do is you take the first bolt off down here, right? And then you take that completely off. Because then what you can do is pull back on the starter, and it'll give you more clearance on that back bolt to get it off. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about my camera skills. I don't got no way to leave this camera right now, so just bear with me. All right, now I can use both of my hands. No! I just lost my tool, guys. Shucks, man. That's not nice. It's okay. We'll find it. Holy cow. Ugh, come on. All right, now you gotta try not to drop this bolt. I'm taking it out of here. And here it is. This is starter long bolt. All right, now we gotta get the short one out. All right, got the second bolt out with the clamp, with the little bracket for the whatchamacallit, for the damn whatchamacallit. All right. That's the starter, guys. We got the starter out. All right. Yeah. All right. We got the starter out. All right, now we're going to go ahead and install the new starter in there. Let me go ahead and get that started so we can go ahead and install it. The customer did purchase a reman starter. You know, no matter what, they get lifetime warranty on it. So I know it's, don't judge me. I know it's not a BMW starter. We're going to inspect it real quick. What I like to do is take a look in here. I've had a starter one time where this thing was, the little connector piece was bent on the inside. And I didn't notice that. And after I reinstalled everything to the vehicle, it would not start. Come to find out, it was a faulty starter situation. Now, what you also want to do is compare the two. Whenever you take a part out of a car, you want to look at both of the parts together to make sure that they look identical, because the best thing that we have in this planet is our eyeballs and our five senses. So you have your nostrils, your eyes, your ears. So, you know, don't let it lie to you, you know. So take a look at it, inspect it, make sure the parts look the same. And then after that, you go ahead and install it. Make sure you put it in the right direction, because it is supposed to be installed in a certain direction. All right, now that we got it in there, we're gonna go ahead and put the bolts back on, tighten everything down, and get the car running. All right, so let me go ahead and get that done. All right. See if I can find a spot for this phone. It's a BMW 535. Of course, you got to disconnect the battery before we do it. I'm also working on the GT and the X5. All right, I'm trying to see if I could fix this live thing. I don't know what's going on my feed, but let me see if I can put the phone down so you guys can watch me finish this. It's hard to do the camera and fix the cars at the same time. Gotta get the bolt lined up, that's all. Now, you gotta start the bolts with your finger first and finger tighten them just to get the couple of threads in there. Before you use any tool to tighten any bolt down, you just want to finger tighten it at least a couple of threads before you do that. Because, you know, you'll be caught in a situation where you'll cross thread something. So you just want to make sure you get a couple of threads in by finger first, and before you put any tool or any power tool on there, therefore, you know. It's just a good principle to keep, you know, because simple jobs could turn into nightmares, you know. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to start that bottom starter bolt by hand first, which finger tighten it first before I put a tool on it. And then I know at least it's in there. The threads is, you know, good. I'm not going to be stripping nothing where, you know, a simple job turns into a nightmare. You know, and that happens all the time in the automotive industry. You know, you go from fixing one simple job that you were supposed to be done real quick. Next thing you know, you're taking all night to finish that job. See, I thought I got that boat started, and I didn't. Whoa. Oh, come on. Come on. What is going on? That's why I said you gotta start it with your finger first. Cause you see, I'm still not threaded in a couple of threads yet. All I need is a couple threads. All right, I think I got it. Finally. All right. Yes. Couple threads in. Whew. Now, we gotta find that 10 millimeter and tighten it down to Torx, but right. I gotta just tighten the other one down. That's it. We're home, sweet home. Sweet home, Alabama. Mama, I'm coming home to you. I said I live at home. All right, that made it much easier and way faster. All right, now let's go ahead and put that bolt in there. That's for the starter. And that's it. We're home, sweet home, bro. Now, I usually don't like the starter bolt that they come with. So I'm really fond of the original bolt that came with the starter. And that's the one I'm going to use. Don't forget the washer. I'll put that on. Go ahead and tighten that. I don't like it. I don't like the way that fits. Now, this is the starter signal wire. I'm going to plug that back in. Make sure it's plugged in snug. All right. Now that we got everything in there, we're good to put everything back together. Okay. Typically, what you would do is crank it over, check the starter, and make sure it works. But I've already diagnosed the vehicle. I've already verified that the starter was bad. So now we're going to just put it back together, call it a day, let it go. Okay. Now, before we put it all the way back together, we do want to check to verify that there's no electrical components that's unplugged, that we're not missing. And we got to make sure that there's nothing in the... See these holes? These are the intake holes. Now, I know I didn't drop nothing in there, but we just want to make sure there's no debris, there's nothing in there, because the engine will suck it in and be over. That's it. You're buying an engine for a customer. Now you guys see the other engines we're working on? I don't know what's going on here. I'm still learning how to use this YouTube thing. So I apologize if I'm like not that good with the YouTube thing. I'm still learning. Forgive me. Now we're gonna look down in each of these cylinders and make sure there's no debris, there's nothing in there. And if there is, we gotta fish it out. Mm-hmm. See a little something in there. I want to take it out. I don't like that. When I see stuff that I don't like, I'm gonna fish it out of there. Make sure there's nothing in there. Everything's gonna be clean before we put it back together. Hold on. Might have to get a longer one. All right. Now, for me to fish that out, I'm gonna have to put y'all down for a second. I see something in there that I don't want to get out. It might not be nothing, but I don't care. I gotta get it out. In life, you're gonna do something, you do it right. Hold on. Ha! I got it. See that? I don't play, boy. I'm like a physician, boy. I noticed that real quick. Gotta pay attention to detail. Anything can happen. And there's a lot of carb buildup in there. Oh my God, it looks disgusting in there. It's bad, bro. See, I don't know if you guys can see it because the flashlight is too. Maybe I should put this light on. So, see in there? That's called carb buildup. Now, that happens, it's like the bottom of a frying pan, basically. You know, you got your oil going inside there, and this is the intake. Basically, this is like a bad smoker's lung, you know? If you want to compare it to a human, you'll be like, man, this freaking guy is a smoker. So what happens is the inside of your intake journals start looking like a bad frying pan, you know? So in a lot of cases, you know, we would, there's a blast procedure that we do where we would blast all the stuff out of there, like try to use walnut blasting to get all that out of there, you know? However, and I let the customer know about it. You know what I'm saying? If you look in here inside this little intake, you'll notice there's oil in there. And that's coming from the turbocharger. Okay, so what happens is the turbos start to have internal leaks, you know, on the M54, you know, which is normal. Sometimes, you know, turbos leak after a while. But the turbos leak internally, and then the car ends up sucking in the oil. Not only that, there's a recirculation valve here in the PCV system. And the PCV system in the system is recirculating from the valve cover. And sometimes that sucks up oil also, causes the system to suck up oil, which all ventures back into here, because what they're trying to do is just burn it up in the combustion chamber, which is probably not the smartest thing to do. There, I have my finger over the camera. I'm sorry, guys. All right. So enough talking. I did enough talking. Now let's put this thing back together, man. You know what I'm saying?